Hey guys, Amy here. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is the sixth and final video in my Magical Memorabilia series. We visited from the early 80s to late 80s and all throughout the 90s. Now this video is going to focus on 99 and 2002. Now this past Sunday, April 22nd, was the 20th anniversary of Animal Kingdom being open. So 99 was the first year that we ever went to Animal Kingdom, so I have some things to share from that trip, and also then in 2002 we picked up some more merchandise from there. That was our next trip to Disney. So let's dive in and get into some Disney history. So I just want to give you a little background from our 99 trip. It was just Glenn and I, and we actually weren't even supposed to go to Disney that trip. We had flown down to Fort Lauderdale and were supposed to go on a cruise, but it was September, and that was right when Hurricane Floyd was coming straight towards the Florida coast, and we didn't know if it was going to hit us directly. Luckily it did turn up and go up the coast, but we actually had to be evacuated from our hotel and we had nowhere to go. So of course my first choice was just to go to Disney because it was in the middle of Florida. We knew it would be safe there. So we gave them a call and luckily got one of the last rooms that they had available. I guess a lot of people were evacuating to there because it was a safe place. So we got to stay at Coronado Springs, which was kind of exciting because that was still relatively new back then as well. That opened in 1997, so 99 was only a couple of years old, so it was pretty cool to check that out for the first time. That was actually the only time we ever stayed there, but I have the Key to the World card. So as you can see, we stayed there from September 13th through September 16th back in 99. And I'm not sure how many days were on this ticket. I think it was a 3-day park ticket because I know we went to Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Animal Kingdom. So I also have here the map from our stay at Coronado Springs. So this says here on the back that we were in room 5154. And I remember that room was like really far from the main area, so it was like a really long, hot walk. And I don't know what the resort is like now. We haven't actually been back since, but I just know that it was like totally out in the open, and every time you had to go to the main building, it was like, oh. So the first thing that I wanted to share today is this map from our very first visit to Animal Kingdom. So as you can see, the dates at the top says September 13th through the 19th, the Adventurer's Guide, and we have Tarzan on there. They had a show called Tarzan Rocks back then, which we didn't see, but I just think that's really interesting to take a look at the way Animal Kingdom was back when it first opened. If you take a look, over here is Asia. You can see Expedition Everest is nowhere to be found. That was several years before that even opened. And down here in this corner, it tells you about the all-new Fast Pass, where you can avoid waiting in line. So I guess that was a new concept back then as well. And you still had Camp Mini Mickey over here, which this is now Pandora, but back then it was Camp Mini Mickey. And then one other thing that I did have from Animal Kingdom still is the Maharaja Jungle Trek. I think that's how you say that. Just a little guide as to the trails and what animals you would see along the way. So, the inside. So here is a shot showing our original plane tickets where we flew into Fort Lauderdale, and one of the buildings that was all boarded up because of the impending Hurricane Floyd approaching. But then, like I said, we transferred over to Coronado Springs. This was our first time staying there. It was a new hotel, and here's our room 5154, and this was the view from our room, just outside our door. We had a nice courtyard view there of the fountain. And here it is, the very first time that we ever stepped foot inside Animal Kingdom, and our very first view of the Tree of Life is right here, folks. Amazing, but not to be outshined by our very first ride on Countdown to Extinction, aka Dinosaur. And here we are, posing outside with our very own dinosaur. Aww. I did have some items from the other parks that I wanted to share. This is the guide map from Epcot back then. And on the inside here, you can see the things that they were featuring. They had Test Track, which was brand new back then. That opened in March of '99, I think it was. Unfortunately, we didn't get to ride it just because it was broken down when we were there, and it was actually a very long time, many trips later, until we finally got to ride Test Track, because we just always had such bad luck. It was always broken down every time we went there. You can see here too that they had featured Body Wars. That was in the Wonders of Life Pavilion, which I always thought was such a rough ride. I never cared for that one too much. And Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. That was cute. I don't know about the Lord of the Dance. We didn't see that at all. But let me open this up, show you the inside of the map, because it's kind of interesting here. Try not to rip it. They still have over here Horizons on the map. It had just closed down back then, so they were getting ready to tear it down to make room for Mission Space. So I also still have the guide map from Magic Kingdom from that trip. And as you can see here, they have the Main Street Electrical Parade back again, my favorite. But I was gonna open this up and give you a look at the inside of the map, which there's not a whole lot that's different than it is these days, but a couple of things worth mentioning. If you look over here in Tomorrowland, where my finger is, they still have the Galaxy Palace Theater, if you remember that. They would have a lot of stage shows and music that went on there, so I always enjoyed that as a kid. And if you look up here, you can see they still had Mickey's Toontown Fair, and also 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea was still here, but it was no longer a ride. You couldn't ride it anymore. And this was something I thought was interesting that I found with everything else. It is a world update, but as you can see, it's September 1st through the 15th, 1999. And this talks here about the introduction of the Fast Pass, and then it has the highlights here from all 4 theme parks. And then on the inside, it just shows you of everything that's going on everywhere else in the parks and downtown Disney and otherwise. It has the water parks on there, the boardwalk, Pleasure Island, so just a nice little snapshot as to what was going on at the parks back in 1999. And one last thing I wanted to share from that trip before we move on to pictures was this menu that I found from the Wild Horse Saloon, which I thought was pretty cool because that's no longer there. That was at downtown Disney. And apparently the night we were there on September 17th, 1999, we saw Shane Miner. How exciting is that? You don't know who Shane Miner is? It's okay, neither do I. I don't remember. I think he did have one hit song, but I couldn't tell you what it was today. I would have to Google that. But moving on, the Skyway was still in service then, which allowed for some amazing views of Cinderella's castle. This is the backside, but you can see we're way up high. The tops of the buildings are there, and yeah, it's just a great view that we had from those. And here is the Lion King topiaries. And one thing I didn't mention was that Epcot was just starting to celebrate its millennial celebration, so this was a first look at the wand over Spaceship Earth, indicating the year 2000 Y2K. So that was everything from our 1999 trip. Now the next time that we went down, it was 2002, and that was the first year that we had gone down with my parents and my sister and her family in a while. So it was a big group of us, it was a lot of fun, but for whatever reason I don't have a lot of pictures from that trip except for this one, where we visited Chef Mickey's. Good times. But I do have some memorabilia to share with you guys, so I will get started with that. This here is an unopened sticker set from Animal Kingdom, so it's really cute. It has a whole bunch of Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and animal stickers. Just thought it was really cool that we've had it all these years unopened. Price on the back says it was $5.50. And also, we had a whole bunch of these scrapbooking stickers that were unopened. And I'm not sure why they weren't opened. I guess we had good intentions of making scrapbooks from that trip, but we never did. So, pretty cool. We had a couple of those, and one of these, I'm not really sure why we had cheerleading stickers. I guess we just thought they were cute, so picked them up. But and also all the different park icons and Disney characters. And also we went during the 4th of July that trip, so these were just some Mickey patriotic stickers with the flag. And along that same line, we have 3 special limited edition pins from that trip. And this was before actually I was an avid pin collector, but these are really neat. So it says 4th of July 2002, so this one was from Animal Kingdom, obviously. Got Simba there with the flag and the Tree of Life. And this, I'm gonna save the best one for last. This one's super cute, from the Magic Kingdom with Tinkerbell on it. And this one here is my favorite. Of course, it's Figment. Absolutely love, love, love Figment. In case you didn't know that, I'm sure you all do if you've watched my video. I did one in this series especially for Figment. And this was one other pin. They were celebrating 100 years of magic back then as well, and that was the 100th birthday of Walt Disney, so this was a special pin with Mickey on it to commemorate that. So that wraps up this edition, the final edition of my Magical Memorabilia series, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I've enjoyed putting everything together for this whole series. It's been fun. As always, I thank you all for watching, and I hope that you have a magical rest of your day. And remember, life is better with Disney. Peace.